Hey you guys, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have the OPI Through the Looking Glass collection. I did win these in the OPI Tea Party sweepstakes that they hosted on Instagram. I'm just now getting around to reviewing them. So I have the 8 main shades. I do not have the 9th limited edition polish. I will also be doing a quick stamping demo using each shade, so I'll go ahead and get started. First up is Oh My Majesty, and this is by far one of my favorites of the entire collection. It's described as a supremely beautiful pearly alabaster. So it's a white with a pinkish, goldish, yellowish shimmer. Really pretty. It's a little bit hard to catch on the nail. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Oh My Majesty swatched on my natural nail. So this is one of the few that I think is a little bit on the thin side. It does start off a little bit streaky, and I do recommend doing thinner coats because it tried to pull on me a little bit. Here's the first coat. I'll let this dry and then come back in for the second. Okay, here is the second coat. This one does dry down fairly glossy, but a top coat is going to help bring out that shimmer a little bit. The second coat builds it up, but it's not quite opaque and still a little bit streaky, so I am going to let this dry and then come in for a third coat. With my third coat, I did a little bit of a thicker coat. It did kind of pull into my cuticles a little bit, but this is going to bring it completely opaque for me, and this is definitely one of my favorites. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup here with my cleanup brush and some acetone. This one is not bad about leaving shimmer behind, so it's a really easy to use polish, even though it does take 3 coats. So here is a look at the completed mani with top coat under artificial lighting. Next, I'm going to show you a really quick stamping demo. I have sped up each of these segments a little bit. So I'm using Bundle Monster Plate 722. I'm going to apply it generously to my image, scrape downwards, and then give an upwards roll with my clear stamper. So this one picked up great. It is going to be super subtle over a white polish. I'll go ahead and show you how it's stamped over cardstock here. So really hard to see, but once it catches the light, all that shimmer comes out. I love tone on tone stamping, so I cannot wait to use that for this. I'm also going to show you how it stamps over black. I'm just using my DK Matte. It's black. So over black, it is really going to shine. I had some that wanted to stick to my stamper. It's really hard to stamp directly onto these mats for me without top coat, but this did a beautiful job. Let me try to show you what the shimmer looks like at different angles. So this is going to be great for stamping. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. Next up is I'm Gowned for Anything, and this one is described as a creamy, adventurous lilac. This one does have a lot of pink in it, however, I compared it to Don't Bossa Nova Me Around, and they're a little bit similar. This one is a lot lighter and a touch more purple, so if you like that one, you're probably going to love this one. I'll show you a quick brush shot, and then I'll show you how I'm Gowned for Anything swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat. This one covers extremely well. It's really easy to work with. It self-levels well. It's going to dry glossy. I did have a fuzzy there on the tip of my nail, kind of make it lay down and behave. This one worked great. I am going to come in for a second coat though, so I'll let this dry. And here is the second coat. This is going to bring it completely opaque for me. The formula on this one is impeccable. Here is a look at the completed mani without top coat, and I'll go ahead and show you a quick stamping demo. So I'll be using the same plate. This is Bundle Monster Plate 722. I'm going to apply it generously to the image, scrape downwards, and then give an upwards roll. This one picked up great as well. I'll go ahead and show you how it's stamped over a white cardstock. So nice and opaque, really did a great job at picking up fine lines. I think these are pretty much all going to be great stamping polishes. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and once more at an angle. So next up is the Eyes Have It. This one is described as a light powder blue. It's just a straight cream, no shimmer or anything like that. Here is a quick brush shot, and I'll show you how the Eyes Have It swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat, again, like I'm Gown for Anything. This one covers really well. It is a tiny, tiny bit streaky, not completely opaque, so I am going to let this dry and come back in for a second coat. So here is the second coat. This did end up being a little bit of a thicker coat, but it leveled well. I had no problem with it pooling. It dried super glossy. This is another really easy to use formula. So here is a look at the completed mani without top coat. And I'll go ahead and show you a quick stamping demo. So I'm going to apply generously once more, scrape downwards, and then roll upwards. This stamping plate has actually been in my untrieds for a really long time. I'm glad I pulled it out today. It does feel a little bit Alice to me. This one picked up well as well. I'll show you how it's stamped on a white cardstock. So it did a really nice job. If you don't have a good powder blue yet, this is a great formula. Here is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and once more at an angle. So next up is Fearlessly Alice, and this one is described as a bold cerulean blue. I thought that was very accurate. This is again a straight cream. This one did stain my skin like crazily bad. It didn't stain my nails. I'll show you a quick brush shot. And then I'll show you how Fearlessly Alice swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat. Again, this has great coverage. I am using a base coat here. I always swatch with a base coat, but this one has the ability to be a stainer. It did stain my skin. I couldn't even get it off with straight acetone, so be aware of that. At one coat, it's not completely opaque. It is really close. I'll let that dry and then come back in for the second coat. The second coat is going to bring it completely opaque for me. Again, this is going to dry down glossy. Here is a look at the completed mani without top coat. And I'll go ahead and show you a quick stamping demo. So same image, I'm going to apply generously, scrape downwards, and then roll upwards. So it picked up really great. Go ahead and show you how it stamps on a white cardstock. This is also a good comparison between The Eyes Have It and Fearlessly Alice. You can see Fearlessly Alice almost has a touch of turquoise in it. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and once more at an angle. So next up is Mad for Madness Sake, and this one is described as a fuchsia pink. Again, this is just a straight cream. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Mad for Madness Sake swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat. This one is a little bit more sheer than the other creams, but still had great coverage at one coat. It does for sure need two to be completely opaque, so I'll let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. So here is the second coat. You can see how glossy these dry down here, so I do always recommend a top coat, but two coats is going to bring this one completely opaque as well. Here is a look at the completed mani without top coat. And I'll go ahead and show you a quick stamping demo. So same process, apply generously, scrape downwards, and then roll upwards. And this is how this one picked up. This one is a little less opaque on the stamper, it looks like, so I do recommend doing this one over lighter colors. This is what it looks like stamped on white cardstock. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and once more at an angle. So next up is Having a Big Head Day. I love that name. This one is described as a hot red. So this is very much an orange-based red, very bright. I'll show you a quick bottle shot. Again, this is just a straight cream. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Having a Big Head Day swatched on my natural nail. This one has one of those formulas where it's almost a jelly and cream mix, not quite acrylic, it still looks a little bit squishy. At one coat I did have really great coverage, however I can still see my nail line quite a bit, so I am going to let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. Okay, here is the second coat. This one is going to not even deepen it up a little bit, just make it a little more opaque. At 2 coats, I could still see my nail line in person, but I didn't think it was that big enough a deal to warrant a 3rd coat, but you may need one depending on your preferences. So here is a look at the completed mani without top coat. I'll go ahead and show you a quick stamping demo. So this is how this one picked up. This one does have the ability to stain as well. It kind of stained my cuticles a little bit. Did pick up great. I'm going to show you how it stamps over white cardstock. Just a really pretty classy red. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. So next up is What's the Hatter with You? This one is described as a rich burgundy cream. So again, this is a straight cream, a really pretty color. I'm so looking forward to this for fall. I'm starting to kind of lean more towards autumn colors. So I'll show you a quick brush shot. And I'll show you how What's the Hatter with You swatched on my natural nail. So here is the first coat. I had really great coverage with this one. I could probably get away with 1 coat. I could still see a little bit of nail line though, so I am going to let this dry and then come back in for a 2nd coat. So you can see it's there, it's just very subtle. Here is the 2nd coat. This one also dries down darker, so I really like that. You can see when it goes on, it's more of a brighter berry color. So the 2nd coat brings this one completely opaque for me. It does dry down glossy. I love this one with a matte top coat as well. I have a picture of that over on my blog if you'd like to see it. Here is a look at the completed mani with top coat. I'll go ahead and show you a quick stamping demo. So same plate, same process. This one picked up great. I'll show you how it stamps over white cardstock. So no problems or issues. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. So lastly today I have a mirror escape, and this one is described as a glittering gold. I know some people have some feelings about the textured metallics that OPI has been releasing. I actually kind of like them. I'm feeling this one. This one looks like it has both silver and white matte pieces in it. I'm not sure if it's glitters or chunks. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how a mirror escape swatched on my natural nail. So this one does start out super sheer. The formula is just, it's easy to use. It's not super chunky or anything like that. You don't have to worry about the glitters. It's just a little bit sheer. So I will let this dry and then come back in for a 2nd coat. This one is for sure a texture polish. You can see there the white matte pieces stand out really well. There's also silver in there though. So the 2nd coat builds it up, especially the shimmer, but it does not make this one opaque, so I am going to come back in for a 3rd coat. So here is the 3rd coat of a mirror escape. I am going to do a purposely pretty thick coat. My camera didn't want to focus there. So I feel like a 3rd coat brings this one completely opaque. I do like this without top coat even. It's pretty. So here is a look at the completed mani without top coat, and I'll show you a stamping demo for this one. So same plate, same process. You can see how sheer it is on the plate there. Scraping feels gross, like it's super gritty, but it does pick up really well. I'm going to show you how this stamps over both white and black today. I'm going to show you how it looks over white cardstock. So it is there, it's going to be subtle. This is not my favorite way to use this at all. And I'll show you how it looks over black. I have laid down a top coat to help it stamp better on my DK matte. And I am in love with how this looks. I'll go ahead and show you how it looks from an angle so you can see. I think that is a really cool combo. It's probably how I'll be utilizing this polish. It picked up fine details well. I like the chunks of random white. So here is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So that wraps up my swatch and review of the OPI Through the Looking Glass collection. I really enjoyed this collection. I wish that I had gotten it and reviewed it sooner. I will probably be buying the summer collection, it looks like. Let me know down below if you've enjoyed these stamping demos. I know, like, not everybody stamps, so I don't want to get repetitive. If I should break that off into another video, maybe. So if you'd like to see more, you can visit my blog at sloppyswatches.wordpress.com or follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. A big, huge thank you to OPI for sending these to me. I'm really excited to have won that contest. And thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.